education should be a frenetic activity. So there's a huge movement that mainly comes out of Europe. But
that's better. The other one was too heavy. I got carried away.
yes.
Yeah, can you send me a link?
Oh, okay. So if you guys are interested, yes, the TED Talks are up. I can send them to Susan, and Susan, or you can post them. So if you go on to, either you can go onto YouTube and search for Golnaz's name or my name, and it'll bring you to the YouTube website, or it's on the TEDx, but it's harder to find. I put it on my LinkedIn, but you weren't supposed to be linked to me yet. That was a mistake. Because normally I won't link to students until after you graduate, right? So I think I hit on accept for you too quickly. I know, but so you're there now.
I have so many professors that I have to link to.
And I may have to revise that because I keep getting requests from students and I keep saying no. But it just, like, to me, it's like...
Do you want me to put that back on the table? Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to be ethical.
And she'll join in.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So where is the table?
Yeah.
It's this one.
Okay.
So I'll send it to Susan.
Or it's that one.
Yeah.
Whichever one, if you need that one. I tried to find it like 2 months ago, but I don't think it
Oh, no, it
was
wasn't up. It just went up last week.
because I went on TED Talks and I tried to search your name, and there was some information about you, but it's no here.
Yeah. So it's, so it's up, they just went up last week, so it was kind of terrifying. So we got you now, Golnaz is coming.
She's on the way home.
Okay.
So we had Antoine and Paulina talking about creativity and innovation. Krisha just finished on emotional intelligence and teams. And now Rupak's going to be telling us about emotional intelligence and leadership. Okay. And then we'll have something on Rebecca.
Hello everyone, I'll be presenting on emotional intelligence and leadership. First I'd like to speak about the significance, why is it important. There's a saying, cognitive skills gets you in the door, but emotional skills helps you thrive once you're hired. The first is building stronger relationships. It's one of the significance of utilizing emotional intelligence within the world of leadership. This happens because once a person is emotionally intelligent, he tends to develop more empathy towards people and situations. And this in turn attracts more people towards the leaders. And in turn, it helps towards developing a stronger relationship with the peer and people with whom the leader is dealing with. So next is removing barriers. Once the leaders undergoes training of emotional intelligence, or at the time they become really emotionally intelligent, it helps to remove the barriers because they tend to be more attentive and they tend to develop stronger listening skills. So it's one of the reasons for which emotionally intelligent leaders also tends to have lower barriers towards communication or in the organizational world. So it is better handling of situations. So how do emotionally intelligent leaders tend to handle the situations better as compared to others? It sounds it sounds simple, but leaders face challenging situations every day. But all of the times, not all leaders face challenges in a positive way. Suppose for firing of an employee or turning down an investor group. So how would a leader deal with such kind of situations? So for emotionally intelligent, So for emotionally intelligent leader, the time he deals with people or situations like turning down an investor group or so, he would still strive to turn down the investor, but also manage to maintain a positive relationship with the clients. Then we come to providing more motivation. These kind of people who are emotionally intelligent and who has undergone the training to be emotionally intelligent, they tend to lead people quite well. And to thick and thin, these people can give very good motivation to the people around them. Last but not least of this, though it's been said that emotional leadership can be learned and practiced, but the trouble here is most of them learn but do not practice this kind of skills. But the people who are emotionally intelligent, they also make sure they practice what they have learned. So what are the trends which has been going on for over a period of time? So when emotional intelligence started being utilized to the world of leadership, that was a gloom and doom period. What I mean to say from the gloom and doom period is, because the time it started, right, the work which was included into the emotional intelligence and leadership, the work nature was very boring. They were implementing non-challenging questions, and the answers were very static. So next, they got confined to the task and relationship behavior. They were exploring only how people would react to certain kind of situations, and then they moved into research of transformational and charismatic leadership, where they thought that emotional intelligence is the best fit to the research of transformational and charismatic leadership. They found that organization scholars and research specialists started taking interest more into transformation, or how a leader can undergo the transformation to become a charismatic leader. As the next phase of the research, it came as 360-degree mechanism of feedback and how it can develop a leader and how a leader can utilize this skill to develop others. And more consideration was given on how an emotionally intelligent leader can influence the life of others. Then the last one, so how can the increased self-awareness be helpful? So it was also studied, and it was found that more of self-awareness can impact not just his leadership qualities, but also can lead towards leading a balanced life of health, fitness with leadership qualities. So what's the big buzz going on around in the world of emotional intelligence? What are the great talks going around? So research on emotional intelligence and emotion capital model. If you refer my handouts, there is a model which is being used by Boeing in Australia, which I've given the example. So I didn't understand it completely because I have not undergone the training personally, so I'm not being able to relate it. But the next posits towards using the emotional model, and I meant how to use emotional intelligence to make into emotional model capital. Then self-confidence and belief in the others. So how can it help towards developing the self-confidence? And it also works on how to work on developing trust, because we have seen that though leaders undergo this training, but it was quite interesting to find that they find it very difficult to trust others. So it's one of the research aspects now, that how to teach leaders to develop trust on others with optimism. And the third one, I found it very interesting because Boeing Australia developed learning module through which they were working on emotional intelligence and how they can develop on increasing the leadership rates of the people. And it was found that when their sales went up, once the salesperson and the related departments undergone this training, of emotional intelligence. And previously, emotional intelligence and leadership were only confined to business, but now the current trend is also towards the engineering courses. And right now, the current challenge of relating emotional intelligence and leadership is how do we develop into emotional capital. So my question is, how do we develop emotional intelligence into emotional capital? Thank you.
And you collected all those studies we've had?
Yes.
Right? Good.
Yeah.
So we'll let you guys go ahead, and then when we finish up, we'll have time for questions and discussion at that point.